So again, the whole thing of starting with prayer, and I would say it may start off rocky and difficult. Um, Old motivations or lack of motivations come in, how you feel about prayer. I would say also there is a way to trick yourself. C.S. Lewis said something about kneeling when praying. That when he says it's not something that I necessarily had to do, but I felt that when I kneeled, that it was my body was remembering or it was understanding, it was being shown who I was talking to. It was something along those lines that the actual posture in prayer helped him um, in his prayer time with God. I would say kind of the opposite for me and maybe for you. A couple of years ago, when I was pretty much ready to just hang it all in, um, I remember I was praying in my bedroom. I was on my knees, um, and I'd had enough. It's like I really wasn't following God. I wasn't. I didn't know how to, and I didn't know. I just knew that I was still His. I knew I belonged to Him. That He still owned me. I was in His care, but what I was doing wasn't working. Let's put it that way. And at that moment, I was pretty much, I give up. I'm done. I'm just basically a pile right in front of God. And I remember this happened. It was significant and um, but I had a sense of His presence in the room, and I had a sense of Him just brushing my cheek with His finger. That's all He did, and I broke down and cried. um, I am a very emotional person, very sensitive, and I think that they have been my blessing and curse for 40 years. Um, God knows that I need sometimes a boost or a manifestation to help me continue on. What He wants is that I go by faith and that no matter what the storm is, that I'm still walking on the water with Him. I get that. But sometimes He does things as a means of helping me in my weakness. But with prayer, and anyway, that began my prayer time, my closet time. Um, I lived in an apartment at the time, and the clothing closet was large enough to where I could sit in it. So I brought my Bible, brought some pad and paper, write things down in case I was learning something, and I would pray Cobu style, face down, prostrate, prostrate. I always get those mixed up. I'd sit. I also learned that prayer isn't always me talking. It was listening, being quiet. But I found that posture didn't matter. Repetition or ritual didn't matter. For a while there, I started thinking, okay, this is how you should pray. I would go into my closet. I would sit down. I would be quiet. I started to pattern. This is the success path of prayer, and it's not. That's a thing that. And recently, I was talking to Joe. Recently, recognizing that Christ is in you. Joe quoted the scripture, Christ in you, the hope of glory. It's not that we go to Him or that we invite Him and then He comes and shows up. It's that He is always in me, in you. And so let me just get over the hump here. The technology is wonderful, but I don't understand it. Let me go past 59. Okay. Um,